shit you were alive again.
Yeah, to be fair, that time I actually had, when you'd first said about we should go live, and then it was just hanging and wasn't doing anything. And so I was like,
I'm just
I'll just let you
and see
explode.
Yeah, just let him sit there and simmer and go like, why are we not live? We've been saying all these wonderful things and no audience is here to be attacked by our spiritism. Or at least mine. Right. Topics.
Huh?
Topics. Are we gonna just go in and say how we've been?
Oh, I mean, we can say how we're doing. I mean, it's school holidays. We're in the middle of school holidays here, so it sucks.
Yeah.
24/7 kids. Yay!
I've still got a few weeks before Emma breaks off, and then yeah. And she's on holiday, and then I finally get my holiday. I'll have my first holiday of the year on the 27th of August. Oh, sorry, 27th of July. Fucking hell. 7 months without a break. Now, so that's had my... Go on.
Oh, I was just going to say, you still got a couple of weeks, man.
Yeah, I know. I can feel I need the holiday, I'll be honest. The heat hasn't been helping either.
Yes, I can imagine. I feel like for you guys, it's the opposite for us. Because like right now, it's like 11 degrees with a feels like of 6. Which, from what I understand from Brits, you guys can tolerate that kind of shit.
Yeah.
But for us, I am rugged up in multiple levels. Like, I got a blankie right here.
Yeah.
Right? I am freezing my testicles off. But, you know, it gets to like 46 degrees outside, and I'm just like, it's not quite shorts weather. Yeah, I'm fine. Like, yeah.
I mean, again, that's just the difference of it. Because for the longest time, like, our houses are not built to endure weather like this. Because it retains heat so much. Like, even though I think the other day it was 22 degrees outside, inside it was actually 26 degrees on the first floor, and then I went up one, and it would have then gone up to like 30 degrees inside. It was just stale hotness.
Hot air rises, unfortunately.
Yeah, exactly. So it's just like, it literally just like encapsulates all the heat, turning the home into a sauna. But that's then great during the winter time, where, like, again, the bedroom's nice and toasty because we've been having the heating on, and then I can just layer up, and I can deal with that a lot easier than the heat. So yeah.
Sonny, how you doing?
Oh, I'm making mad bank. I'm great.
Mad bank, eh?
We're going to need your address so that on your next video you can show up and you can have like $1 gold chain hanging down, like poking itself out of the beard. Get you a Gucci, knockoff cap. Some of those braces that are just, absolute gold and diamonds. Rings going all across, just saying stacked.
No, I'll just wear the Armani suit.
I mean, literally combine it all together. And then have like a face tattoo as well.
I'm going to take all of the CDs that we're no longer making, and I'm going to grind them up so that they're all glittery. And I'm just going to roll around in it.
It's a man who knows what money is made out.
It's made out of digital currency, my friend.
It is indeed.
Too bad you can't own it.
Don't need to own it.
That's a nice little segue. Who wants to start?
Well, I mean, I don't mind starting, considering that, like, I've got a little tangent to go on.
Sure.
We'll get into like the gaming stuff of it first, but I was watching a video on anime.
Yep.
And it was basically talking about the history of anime, how it got started and all that. At least, the distribution of it.
Mhm.
And one of the things that was mentioned was that the early way of sending these tapes around and stuff could be viewed in the same way that we now look at piracy of things.
Yep.
But as it went on, it kind of began talking about how the streaming services have come up and how something like Crunchyroll has now become so dominant that it can dictate what you have access to and can also region lock you out of content and stuff like that, right?
Yeah.
And it got me going on the fact that we used to have a local anime distributor here called Madman Entertainment. They had close links to the UK manga entertainment people, the more underground or the more creative, shall we say, anime dubbers in the US and things like that, right? And occasionally they got direct licenses from Japan and would just bring in direct imports that were just dubbed, right? Absolutely great, no notes. Then they got bought up by Funimation.
Right.
And when this was happening, there was a lot of news going on, at least here for it. And one of the things Funimation was coming out and saying was that, we will respect your content, your accounts during the merger. Your library will still be your library. One of the first things that happened was once that merger happened, if you had titles that were, say, before 2000, keep in mind this was somewhere between 2009 and 2013.
Yep.
So only around a decade prior, if you had any anime titles older than that weren't specifically the pop culture ones, like Cowboy Bebop, they disappeared. So, for example, I love some of my old classics. Cyber City, Oedo 808, Demon City Shinjuku, what's a couple others? Bubblegum, both Bubblegum Crisis shows, the OVA and the TV show. All great fun things. All of them were gone. And then barely a couple of years later, Crunchyroll buys Funimation. And that entire library, when that merger happened, disappeared. My account no longer had access to any of the stuff I had bought. They basically said that I did not own any license to any shows, and that's not how their platform works. And yeah.
See, that's the part where I get absolutely fuming, because if you have bought, something from a platform, you should be having access to that. Even if it's a license, you should not be region locked or any of that. That should now be in your library. You should be able to view that at your leisure. That's it. Turning around and saying, right, well, you now have to buy the license and we will region lock you. That is absolute absurdity. And then stepping it further and saying, oh, you have a library, but because we've bought it, we do not recognize the purchases that you have historically had, and we will not respect it. Ergo, you can go fuck yourself. That to me is just straight up not on. I understand it, because I pay for Netflix. Okay, they will have a rota of things that comes and go, depending on what licenses that they can have or what regions have the demand for it. I understand that I'm not buying those specific movies, a show. I'm buying the ability to go in and view them at my leisure. But that also means they can rotate out at their leisure because I'm not buying anything specific. I'm buying a wider library. On that side, I can accept it. It's no different than what Game Pass is doing for Xbox, where you've got a cycling of games that are available. That's fine. But if you're buying individuals, even if it's a license for that thing, then that's got to stay in there. Not your problem that the company you've been buying it from have now lost that license. That thing should be staying for the people who have bought it.
Yep. But no, they see first, because before they actually got to that part, they killed off our other local
distributors or providers.
Streaming distributors. We had 4 or 5 local streaming distributors. So if you bought a product that this is a bit too recent, but say the first John Wick movie, right?
Yeah.
Back then, if I'd bought it back then, it would have come with a digital code for a platform. Because I bought the movie legally, I've got a physical copy of it. I have an access code to be able to now watch that stream anywhere from this platform. But Sony killed them before it gobbled up Funimation.
So basically any company, but effectively what we've been seeing over the last 10, 20 years at this stage, the companies that establish themselves as like, we will provide you a library where you can download at your own leisure as long as we're around. Again, you can't get mad like the company goes down, like how are they going to be providing you a service at that point?
Yeah,
like,
and if they went under, that's one thing.
Yeah, exactly. But they provide you with a digital version. They provide you with a physical one. That's seen as threatening to people going around. Which let's be honest, we're seeing a new brand of monopoly that's on the rise. Because yes, you can buy it from other people, but if you are locked in with, let's say, HBO, where else are you going to be going for that? They control their own online ecosystem.
Well,
and
it's like...
go on.
Oh, no, sorry.
It's just, again, like you're effectively getting to the point of where you don't have the physical aspects, but you don't even. Which part of that I can accept. We are unwillingly moving in that direction. But what I'm not willing to accept is that I will be dictated to by a corporation or by faceless entities telling me, well, this is how you're going to like it. It's like, no, if I have paid for something specifically, I should have access to that until the end of time. IP disputes and all of that is not my problem. That is a you problem. And you need to establish that, okay, you can no longer sell it. The people who currently own it, they still have it, because otherwise, that's it. And then that's a them problem to make sure they get that legally set up. Otherwise, why are you selling me a product that you can't promise me to keep in the longevity?
And that brings up an interesting point, because do you know what one movie I did get that I had a code for?
Which was that?
Star Wars Episode 7.
Right.
I had a Blu-ray code to be able to stream that movie from iTunes. As long as it played through iTunes, I could play that movie offline. I could stream it offline. Didn't have to worry about using the disc. It was there for me offline. I just had to run it through iTunes.
But that's a bad example, because nobody likes that movie.
But here's the thing. About a year or two after Disney Plus got set up, that movie got deleted from my library. And now basically iTunes doesn't work anymore, so
I mean, it is the answer of like, why are we seeing a decline in media entertainment? It's like, well, we're at the stage where you can make really good TV shows. You can make fantastic movies. However, the distribution side and the rights retention side is now so fucked up that as consumers, we don't want to buy it.
Mm.
We are at the point of where we don't even want to go to the cinemas, and we've had these good discussions before about how expensive just going to the cinema is, or how inconvenient it can be. So you're taking out that, so you can go on the days when they're released, or when the week where it's running and showing. So you're like, all right, well, I'm going to wait for these CDs to come out. Well, you're not going to have to wait for that period, and you buy it and you go like, oh, by the way, do you want this? You now have to sign up to HBO's or whichever studios made it. They've got their own streaming service. You have to sign up to them. It's like, no, I don't want to. I'd like to watch this. And you now have to almost go back to the old school. Like, you need to have a DVD or a Blu-ray to watch it, because at this point, if the moment you give them a finger, they're going to say, right, well, we need your name, ID, blood type, your address, your maiden name, your first child, and they'll just take all of that. And again, we've seen so many times where the privacy and personal data of people is not protected. These corporations do not put in the protection. And we've had so many times where they've been attacked, cyber attacks, data's been linked out and sold to brokers, to the point of where we're now seeing a rising market in third-party providers saying, do you want your personal information scrubbed from the internet? Hire us. It's literally where we are. We're having to combat the inadequacies of corporations who are just leaking, if not directly selling, my information to other people. The rise in VPNs and data scrubbers who are basically going, hey, you don't like these people, hire us and we'll take care of that. It's just, we're in sorry to tangent a bit, but we're in an cyber arms race between. Go on.
Two things on that. Technically, I don't need to give them my DNA. I just have to give them my DNA if I want to go to their country.
Mm-hmm.
That's when they get my DNA. But on the second,
risking that.
Oh, dude, I'm totally putting down that I have terrorist or piracy
Seraphis
charges.
Haven't I told you? I clicked that when I did the visa application. Yeah.
As I've recently found out too, so many Australians have too, for shits and giggles.
I'm glad I'm not the only one. And I'm glad that when I tell people this, they either laugh or they look at me with abject horror, going like, why would you do it? I'm like, why not? I didn't think they would be doing this live. I thought it was funny. I did it on the paper when I was flying in the airports.
It's like in, I think it was 1996's census in Australia. One of the census office actually tallied up what they would otherwise classify as other religions, because normally that's what they'll do. But they decided we got a lot of entries this year, so we're going to start listing just how many people identify their religion as Klingon or Jedi/Sith. It was like 30% of the country. It has gone up since then.
Nice.
Yeah. Basically, the census office knows that pretty much everyone is doing it, as they're just not religiously aligned, so they know that's what it is. But it's funny that now they're just like, you know what, fuck it. It's funny on our census records. Let's just do it for the laugh. What I'm getting at is you'd fit in great here.
I'm learning that by the day. I might not have your wit, but I certainly share your sense of humor.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck you. Cunt. I'm saying this while my mother-in-law and my wife is having a conversation in the other room.
Okay, well, let's get you fired up and tell us what your digital love is of today.
Oh fucking hell! Okay, God, I need to remind myself now. Because one of the things that has been that's sort of been bothering me is um, Assassin's Creed Black Flag has been remastered, and this is one of those games where it came out. It wasn't even like a major game for the studio, but it had such a big success because they did something that hadn't been done before. You know, you had naval engagements. There was the whole piracy aspect, a change of perspective. You weren't actually an assassin. You were just a random pirate who just went, "Oh shit, I've got this now. Oh boy, I better go and commit some crimes."
It is kind of funny that Edward's beginning is just, "Oh, I killed this dude. Actually, you know what? I should probably wear these clothes. They look a little bit more respectable than mine."
Yeah. And you end up working for the Templars. You then realize, oh shit, they're actually not the good guys. Oh fuck. Really good game.
Yes.
And they've then done like, right, we're now going to uplift it, you know, the old PS3 era graphics. Yes, I understand, like, we've kind of matured in our graphics since then. Which is fair. But the resynced version has a problem, which is that Ubisoft has this unending hard-on that you will always play their games while their servers are on. No different than Blizzard and Activision, or Activision Blizzard, whatever the fuck they call themselves. You will be playing their games while that server is on. You will not be playing anything offline until, at least in Blizzard's side, they were badgered so fucking hard that they just went, fine, do you want to play Diablo 2 remastered offline? You have to click this thing and then you're not online. But you're not allowed to have that character online with anyone else. And people went, that's exactly what we want. Don't try and talk to us like this is a fucking hurdle for you. We've got our computers. We will play the fucking game. It's a single player game. Go fuck yourself. So the fact that you buy a game, the servers are crashing, it can't handle it, it just falls apart, and Ubisoft, being one of these outstanding companies known for their customer service, never fucking does anything about it.
Great,
yeah, absolutely fantastic. Let me take another company, Arrowhead, where I've been playing, you know, hundreds of hours of Helldivers 2. They fucking struggled the first opening months. And they didn't even like do any form of advertisement for that game, but like there were so many people getting onto their servers that their servers overloaded and collapsed, and they went, shit, all hands on deck, let's get these things built up, because they ended up at the height of their life. They were at 500,000 people online at the same time.
Yikes.
They did not expect that. Their service was not built for that. They came out in the social medias and went, guys, there's literally too many of you. Our servers can't handle you. This is meant to be one server. Everyone interacts, everyone goes in place, and you go and you do that. We've had to buy an emergency build more servers to keep you lot going, because you won't stop fighting for democracy. And people are like, yes, let us in.
For Super Earth.
Exactly. Now, that's another case of where, like, okay, the company wasn't ready for it. Did they fix it? Yes, they did. And then there's a whole bunch of other things that went on with that. Well, that's to do between Arrowhead and the company that this man up here is wanting to represent out, Sony. Sony, with their money-grabbing schemes and disjointed belief that reality is just an illusion, and their fever dream hallucinations are actually reality.
We cannot be accused of money grabbing if it already belongs to us.
My dear sir, that is exactly it. Just like how Sony turned around and went, oh, you would like to play Helldivers? Well, you better sign up for the PlayStation Network. because otherwise you're not playing shit. Resulting
And it
in-
worked, didn't it?
It did.
It made us a
180
lot of money.
181 countries kicked out from playing the game for almost a year, only for them to finally get that turned around, and then it go on to Xbox and anywhere else. But it was just, yeah, that those stonks went up.
You just can't compete with the power of Super Earth.
Well, again, I think the point that we're going towards is Sony just went around and went, hey, you bought something. And I didn't even buy it on Sony's PlayStation because, my God, PlayStation Network is absolute garbage. They're shutting down the store for PlayStation 3, basically going, we don't have enough people buying from there, therefore we will not have it. And it's like, what about all the games people have bought on there? What about the old Bounty Hunter Star Wars remastered that you did there? That's not available on PlayStation 4 or 5. You can't do anything with that. So what are you going to do with that? Just silence. Nothing. So once again, like, they just go like, it's an older generation. We don't want anything to do with that. And that actually made me sort of think a bit. Because recently I went on Good Old Games with GOG and I went, oh shit, I remember there's Rayman, the old PS1 game. I remember, enjoying that game. I remember being bad at it, but I also remember enjoying it. Let me buy that. It's only like £2. Bought it, played it, realizing, holy fucking shit, those games back then was just built different. I've had so many moments where I just went, right, the rage is taking over. I better quit now. Because I don't play Dark Souls, and this happy, high saturation, high coloration game with a man that looks like a blueberry and no arms or legs, just hands and feet, can't fucking jump. I need a break. So,
But Sax, you've got to allow the red mist to descend. You can feel the warp overtaking you, and it is a good pain.
Indeed, and before I know it, I'm going to be shouting out, Horus! Horus! Where are you? My wife is going to go, oh dear, not again. No, but like, it brings out the whole thing of emulators. Nintendo is probably one of the companies that I'm aware of that is cracking down on emulators, because they're like, no, these are our games. You should not be able to have them. It's like, are you going to support them on any modern media? No. So we have to get outdated technology that is prone to breaking, even by, your own admission. We have to buy cartridges that right now are in such a low supply that they don't exist, and they can't be copied or replicated in that. Something like me in my basement, I wouldn't be able to do that. So the availability of it is at the death march into obscurity and disappearing. And the fans who are going, but I really enjoyed this game, I'd like to play this again, are then just keeping it alive through emulators and through playing it on their computers. And Nintendo turns around and goes, no, you cannot have that. Okay, well, Nintendo, I have something that you can have, and it will make you choke. It's frustrating to me that again, like I said earlier, companies believe that they can dictate to me what I can and can't have, especially when I pay money for it. If I buy a Nintendo product like a Switch, I own that thing. But according to Nintendo, no. According to Japanese legal laws, I own the license to operate that thing. And they will break it if they find out that, or if they discover I have done physical modifications towards it. All right. Well, I've never been a Nintendo customer, and I sure as hell never will be at this stage. I've met individuals who sit and go, yeah, but they make good family games and couch games. And I said, and the practices of them ripping you off and you never owning even the physical product there. They will get the Pinkertons to show up to your house, beat you down, and take it from you. Just like Wizards of the Coast and Hasbro did to the one Magic the Gathering player. And for those of you who don't know about the Pinkerton and the Magic the Gathering scenario, Wizards of the Coast fucked up and sent a packet with a card that shouldn't have been released to someone who opens and shows cards on their channel, and they were like, "Oh my god, this is a fantastic, incredible thing," and they released it out. Well, Wizards of the Coast hired a Pinkerton investigation firm, which has a history of beating people as union busters back in the 1800s, and this is documented. Hell, play Red Dead Redemption. You meet the Pinkertons, and they are tame in comparison to what you would expect a Rocksteady game to represent. They had to tame them down. The Pinkertons even tried to take them to court to be like, "We're not like that." And they went, "We actually have historical records from the federal history archives showing that you were worse." So Wizards of the Coast hired them to break into a man's house, threaten him with physical violence, and steal his property because they messed up.
By the way,
this is the point where I get into the blood curling belief that, okay, this is happening, great. I might consider that the jail time is now justified and that attacking someone is all right because they've now invaded my home, they don't have a warrant, they don't have legal authority. Okay, this is now an invasion and I fear for my safety and the safety of my wife. I will now start fucking drawing blood and knives are going to come out because I don't have guns.
No, we don't have guns either.
No, baseball
but
bats, something else. Go on.
But, cricket bats. But the funny thing is, when that happened, I found out that we have Pinkertons in Australia.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we have their firm offices here in Australia. I was like, oh, that's interesting. I didn't know that. And then I kind of looked into it, and it's like purely a consulting firm. They do not hold a license to conduct private investigations or anything of that nature, because apparently we already busted them for that. And because they are known union busters in another country, they also can't have a license for private security either. So it's like,
Good.
Oh, that's interesting.
Good. And let them never get anything like that. Let them sit there and collect paychecks by literally spouting bullshit. At least you know what you're getting at that point. It's because they should never hold that kind of power.
Mm. No,
So,
I mean, with our workers' rights and shit, I mean, for fuck's sake, we've got minimum wage workers' unions and all that embedded in our fucking laws. They would have to overturn it, and we literally have a political party whose whole job is to support workers' rights. And they are one of the dominant parties.
Anyway, PlayStation. Have you got anything that you would like to add in? I mean, you've made several. No, you've made several videos that I'm basically stealing all your points.
I mean, it's not necessarily my points; they're universal points.
No, you're right.
I mean, facts are facts. I'm just putting them out there.
Again, like I am wholeheartedly agreeing with them. It's correct. Like if you buy anything, that should be yours. And I understand that there are certain business models that might be going like, hey, you're not going to own it. Let me take the Xbox Pass, for example. You buy the right to have access to a library of games that they rotate out and around. You can play them until they're rotated out, and at which point, if they're rotated out, they will be taken off your Xbox. Fine. But again, like I said earlier, it's no different than me being on Netflix, Hulu, or any of the others where you go like, okay, I'm buying access to a library. I don't control the library. It's dictated to me. And in Netflix's case, they region lock it for what they believe that their customers will want to have. Great. There are ways around it, and it's called VPNs. And that's all right. At least there's an alternative for that. But I'm not accepting that me buying a digital product means that I will lose that just because that company decides that, oh, we don't want to hold the rights for this. Oh, we don't have enough of this. Oh, we can't restore it. We need space for something else. And then I lose out on that. I'm very much leaning into the world now that if I can't own it, then I sure as hell will not buy it. And if you can, what's that wonderful phrase? If you can't, if buying
not owning it, yeah, if not buying it, whatever, pirate, sure, whatever.
Yeah.
See, I've got an external hard drive, right?
Yep.
And I've had that since just after the original Black Flag came out.
Yep.
Assassin's Creed Black Flag came out. And I have always been of the opinion that... Oh, and by the way, I had the original collector's edition. So I have the Edward statue with the pirate flag and everything behind him, all that. That used to be the ornament on my desk, kind of sitting like right here, right?
Yeah.
And back then, I used to basically be like, I don't know whether I would really like this movie. What should I do? You're right. And now I've got a full 3 terabyte external hard drive.
I've got a 6 terabytes, and I'm only about quarter full of various goodies. But I mean, go back even further to that. The Trove, for those of us who remember that.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Wink if you know. Good. Sorry, my tism can't tell. Sarcasm. There we go. Thank you. But that used to be a place that I would go to and basically test out, like, will I like this product? And most cases I would. And I go, cool, let me go and get the product because I'm a man of principles in that sense. That then got taken down by a certain someone that I don't like. Because at the end of the day, the argument basically boils down to were the people who went to that site, were they ever really going to become a customer? I mean, either they're going to go on.
I was going to say, in my case, it was always a situation of I have the physical products of everything I'm getting. I was not offered the opportunity to get a digital version.
Yes.
There is a digital version for, frankly, a product that I'm already paying an Australian tax on. And I personally feel I've already paid for that. Mm-hmm. So, fuck off, I'm entitled.
And there are, I can't remember who it is. What Defius? Oh, no, Free League. Free League does the entire aspect where if you buy a physical product from them, you automatically get the PDF. That is a practice that certain companies, again, Cubicle 7 is also taking this on, where if you buy physical books from them, they will give you the PDF because they're like, well, you've already paid for this. The cost of the PDF is minimal in comparison. And it generates a level of loyalty towards them because there's no scarcity when it comes to PDFs.
Yeah.
It's just data.
Chaosium does the same thing, at least in our region. So yeah.
No, it's the same. And it generates loyalty. It generates enjoyment, happiness. If people are going to be, reviewing it, they'll be like, oh, well, it's. You can almost see it as like a subtle tactic of like getting that extra star higher, like that, that more higher positive, what's it called, review. Just purely because it's not an industry standard. And I know I've had this discussion on Bear's channel, but let's take like D&D 5th edition, and the prices of the free books that you are probably going to have to buy. So you're going to have Player's Handbook, Monsters Manual, and Dungeons Master Guide. Is it fair to say like each of them is what, like $30, or was it like $50?
It's
Give or
40.
take. It's
39,
40.
yeah.
All right.
40.
Yeah.
Oh, that's US dollars anyway.
Well, let's take that.
70 to
We'll just say
80 here.
all right. So let's take US dollars for now. So that's 40. That's 120 US dollars just to get into the game for at least like the Dungeon Master. And then yeah, you can have him shared all the way around, but it becomes a bit of a bother when you don't have enough, especially Player's Handbook. So you're going to at least have like, let's say, group of 5. You're going to need at least 3 of the Player's Handbooks. That's $120 just for that, and then another 80, so $200 for one group. Yeah.
Or you and that same group of people can go out for dinner one night and see a movie and spend 4 times the amount and have 2.5 hours worth of entertainment. So how much entertainment do you want for your dollar? You go buy all those books for $120 plus $40 a pop for whatever player's handbook, for each player. And you've got, well, taking the example of 2014. I mean, that edition was out for 10 years. Great. Yep. I spent $120. We meet once a week over the course of 10 years. Break that down and you're paying what? 3 cents a book?
Yes.
Over time.
And that's the logic that I use to then when I look at the games that I buy on Steam or GOG.
Right.
Like, what's the amount that you get out of it? And that's the difference between like role-playing games that Scott versus, other aspects. I'm trying to think here. Like a movie, for me, I'll watch a movie once or twice, but then I'm not really going to go back to it for a very long time. So it doesn't give me that form of enjoyment from it. At least from my perspective.
Yeah.
See, me, in the last 3 days, I think I've watched the second Digimon movie about 7 times.
That was your choice?
Yes.
Okay. I just need to check.
On for the kids to be entertained?
No. Okay. It sounds weird. I get it. I 100% get it. But you have no idea how much the original Japanese Digimon stuff is way more violent than the Saban dubbed versions that otherwise came to like English countries. Yeah. So much worse. Like in the dubbed Digimon the movie, the missile strike that's coming is played down, right? In the second Digimon movie, that's a US intercontinental ballistic nuclear missile. The protagonist, Diaboromon, specifically targeted the neighborhood where the Digidestin live, specifically to kill them because it discovered that they're the only ones who will be able to stop it. So it just went straight for the nuclear option, literally. And then, if you've seen the original movie, the dubbed movie, Diaboromon then discovers that because it's on the internet, it discovers the copy-paste function.
Right.
It's a digital monster. Digimon, digital monster. It found the copy-paste function. Control V. It duplicated itself into the tens of trillions. And one of them had the nuke code. evil. That's so evil. And then it basically kills the only thing that could actually depower it. It's a brutal fucking movie.
Fair enough.
Again, watching the original Japanese versions, not the Saban version. Kind of like Power Rangers. They toned it down. Anyway, continue. But yeah, it wasn't until recently that, hell, we could actually get those movies on like legit. Because the ones I have were downloads and they are shit ass quality.
The VHS version with the crackling that will be coming through at times.
Yes.
So, other than convenience and physical storage space, help me out here. Justify to me, what is the advantage of digital aside from those two specific points of
So another aspect, so that if you're going to be looking at the positive side of it, so the availability, my phone, I can have Netflix on that. I can be out traveling with my wife. I can either pre-download the movies down to my Netflix app or hook up to whatever Wi-Fi that the hotel or place I'm staying at, to then be able to watch that and then have the accessibility. That's one that immediately pops up. If you have a digital library, again, like that's going to be going into, well, really the main thing I've really got is availability, depending on where you are. But it all depends that you have internet.
So, do you guys remember the movie Pump Up the Volume? Christian Slater was in it.
I mean, I've heard of it, but I haven't seen it before. So,
try to find that streaming anywhere. Try to find that. I mean, you could probably find it digitally illegally, but try to find it. Try to find it digitally in a legal realm.
I know what you're getting at. The movie that I grew up my childhood on was called The Black Stallion. Had Mickey Rourke in it. No, Mickey Rooney in it, sorry. Mickey's. I loved that movie growing up. It was the movie that I constantly watched the VHS tape of, right? Doesn't exist anywhere for streaming online. At least not in Australia. However, of all places, found it at a service station DVD rack.
Wow.
Yep. So now I have that movie. And ironically, I hadn't got round to watching it before my cousin saw it on my shelf and was like, yoink, I'm borrowing this, because he grew up with it too. And so technically he watched it before I did and was able to inform me that actually it is a solid copy of the movie cleaned up for DVD quality. So, sorry, that wasn't a pro for digital. My mistake.
I mean, I do see a couple of sites where I can get that that movie as a digital download, specifically Pump Up the Volume. But I'll be honest with you, none of them look like reputable sites. Even the one that cites that you can get it via Amazon Prime Video, it takes you to a sublink, not directly to Amazon to do it. It takes you to a sublink where you purchase it, and then somehow it's played through Amazon Prime, but you can't purchase it via Amazon Prime. So I don't know exactly how that's supposed to work. But that's what I mean by there are some titles out there, and that's one that I ended up buying physical, to have on DVD. But that's what I mean is I just I don't know, man. I'm not against digital. What I'm against is digital that's not DRM free. If in order for me to play it, watch it, or otherwise consume it, and the requirement is I have to have an internet connection for it to shake hands with a server to validate that it's legit.
Yep.
Then I have issue with that. I understand why they want you to have that handshake to verify that it's legit. But if I have legit purchased it, you just start going down a road that unplug your internet. This is the example that I've been giving to a lot of folks in my comment section lately.
Okay, hold on.
Yeah. Unplug your internet and try to boot up your game or try to watch your movie that is tethered to DRM.
Yeah.
How far do you get?
Well, for a lot of games, you won't even be booting
Right.
up.
Exactly. I mean, they're going to, you need to be connected to a network to do. This is a single player offline game. Why do I have to be tethered to a fucking network to play it?
And I know that there are. I mean, I've gone down the rabbit hole of seeing what other people are saying online. Some people then going through is like, okay, rather than opening it via Steam, for example, because they're not DRM free, they very much try to go through their launcher. But you then have to go into the files to find the executable or the specific tab that actually opens the game if you want to be able to open it without Steam.
Yeah.
So we're almost back to the old days of like, oh, you've now got the CD, you now got to get that installed. You now have to go and click and make that copy or desktop copy for you. Otherwise.
Sorry, I should have waited. What did you want to do after we pulled the plug?
No, you did it right.
Just see how far you got. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Makes sense.
Yeah, you got it right. I'm gone. Put me back down to the bottom where I belong. Had a moment of being on top. But Seraphis the Aussie comes in here and goes, no, the pecking order demands he be lowered.
All right. Jesus, bloody dang guilt trip.
There we go. Finally, the power I deserve. That's kind of.
See, now I can do this, and I don't have to worry about anything.
I'm just sitting here like, oh no, he's put me on a pedestal. I've got a fear of heights. I remember I said that at work one time. He caught my boss off guard. They were like, what? You put me on a pedestal. I'm afraid of heights.
Anyway, I couldn't help but notice that what you had been saying, Game Masters, or rather PlayStation, was remarkably similar to a comment I left on a video. Except I got a little bit more vicious because my complaint was, okay, we're at a point where digital, like Blu-rays, at least all the ones that I have, want to get a digital handshake when I try to play them.
And see, none of the ones that I have do that. My Blu-ray player is not connected to any network at all. It's just hooked into my TV. That's it.
Even ones that I've already pre-played before in my Blu-ray player will still insist on a handshake before crazy. I can play them.
I don't understand how that even works.
And worse yet, the Blu-ray player on my computer does the exact same. So my question is, or the rest of my comment, which is very similar to yours, but mine extended into how much longer until Sony, say, get to a point where, oh, we don't want to continue the license, or the server that has your passkey response code on it going. So I put my disc in to play John Wick 4, and it comes back, oh, Blu-ray can't be played. No response shake, communicated.
Yeah.
Then what?
Okay, so let's go down a conspiracy hole here.
Right.
Think back. Think back a few years, several years actually.
Okay,
So
Kevin Rudd is
Blu-ray
Prime Minister.
DVDs. No, we're going back to the DVD era of DVD.
Yep.
Kevin Rudd is Prime Minister. Okay.
Why are there different region versions of DVDs?
Well, that was also due to like the DVD player, wasn't it? Because they would then be logged in for the different regions.
Right. Why? Why are there different regions of DVD players? I mean, what the fuck is the real technological difference between a DVD player in Australia versus a DVD player in the UK versus one in the United States, other than the weird shaped plug-in that you plug into the receptacle to get power to the machine?
So that is NTSC and PAL. At least originally for VHS tapes. Why it then got extended into the 4 region codes for DVDs and then the 3 region codes for Blu-rays, I don't know. It doesn't make sense because the technology became more universal.
Right.
Yeah, so the technology was universal as far as I understood. It was just their way of locking in certain regions for them to make sure that you wouldn't have the one spot in like Asia being then mass ripped and then sent abroad for not
continue.
No, like I think my point has been made.
But the funny thing is that that's a good point, and that would seem like it should work, except the ACCC, the Australian Consumer Rights Organization, basically turned around, took those companies to court, and then won, and then had it mandated that companies, if an Australian is looking up on your company and requesting how to turn the region lock off on your DVD player or Blu-ray player, you have to provide it to them. All of my stuff is region free. I've got the region locks off on them. Because that, for exactly that shit. Because if I buy something and it won't play, that's denying me the right that I have as a consumer for that product that I just bought.
So how would that bleed over and work? I own a PlayStation. I buy an Xbox game. Isn't that kind of the same thing? I mean, I'm just kind of slightly playing devil's advocate a little bit, but
yeah. So in that instance, PlayStation if you're now denied your library of games, PlayStation owes you, and you can't access them. I have to stress that point. So you've paid money, and you can no longer access.
No. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying so I have a Blu-ray player.
Yep.
That plays Region 1 discs.
Yep.
I buy a disc that's Region 3.
Mm-hmm.
Australia has mandated that you should have the right to, or that I should have the right to unlock that DVD player to make it region free so that I can play that Region 3 disc. Basically, I'm taking one piece of technology that was designed for one specific type of disc. I'm buying a different disc, and I'm unlocking this machine to be able to play that disc. How is that different than I own a PlayStation? I go out and buy an Xbox exclusive game, but the PlayStation doesn't play it. So, I mean, is that not the same kind of technological argument?
No, because that would be the difference between, I've bought a Blu-ray, but I've got a DVD player. I don't have a Blu-ray player. It's a different system.
I follow you.
What would be a case that you could then bring up to the ACCC is, like, I've got a PlayStation 3. I've got all these games on it. PlayStation has now turned off their servers.
Right.
I use my PlayStation 3, but I've now lost my entire library on there. I can't play any of the games that I didn't have downloaded. You can take that to the ACCC, show them, say, the frequency in which you use your PlayStation 3, and the ACCC will get you will get PlayStation to pony up the cash that you paid for each one of those games that you can now no longer access. And if you want to pursue it, damages.
Yeah.
Because, you know, consumer rights.
I think, correct me if I'm wrong here, or maybe it's just my perception. From what, as we are moving into this period where companies have basically said the consumers are not buying a product, they're buying a license to access it. They've sidestepped the entire the rights aspect by basically doing that. So they are almost legally removing the rights by not providing them, or not providing the actual product to the consumers anymore, by changing what any purchases are. And it's like, I can't see where the logical end of this is going to be, aside from, you know, you won't own anything, and the don't know if it's a good, the business model of trying to tap out of people's income to the point of where they don't have an income anymore, because you've got so many subscriptions that if you want access to the many different things, you need to do all these different subscriptions, and it will keep on tapping into your income. I mean, hell, I know in the UK it's even like to the point of where the car that I technically have, I don't own, because I'm still paying like a monthly finance for it. And if I then want to then own it at the end of the entire thing, I then have to pay the difference of what I've paid up until that point, or I can renew the contract and get a brand new car, but I then reset how much I'm paying for it. As you look confused.
Are you guys living in dystopian cyberpunk futures without all the cyberpunk stuff? Because it sounds like corporations are kind of owning your asses.
And we've been doing that for a while. Mind you, I can still buy a car outright. That's still a thing.
Yeah, I can buy a car outright too. I can get a loan for a car too. But in that case, like, for example, if I get a loan through the state government, the state government will own the portion of the car that I haven't paid off yet for the loan. I will then pay that. And if I decide to get a new car, that move and transfer will be moved to buying that new car. I won't have to pay off and then get a new loan for it.
No, so let me take what. So the way it's set up is that, let's say I come to the end of my current contract, I sell the car back, which then wipes the debt, and then if I want a new car from said dealership, then that's it. It's a brand new contract. That's how they do it. Now, I'm not saying that I like it anymore, because I'm looking at that and going, well, I'd rather have a car that's not as new and not have to pay X amount per month, because that's then money I will then I'll be able to then save instead. Because I only had to go down this route because my previous job was, where's my calculator?
Just I want to quickly say, your Labour Party sucks ass if this is what you're in.
It is what we're in, and allow me to maybe elaborate on like how dire it is. We are at the point of where the new build houses are being sold from the equity or the housing builders. But what they do is that they say, you take out a mortgage and you buy half of the house. The other half belongs to the equity company. You then pay a mortgage and you pay rent for the same house at the same time. That is now a new thing that is on the rise. it is being aggressively pushed. Or it's been aggressively pushed in the last 5 years here in the UK, where once you are done paying your mortgage, you only own 50% of the house. And then the rent you've been paying has not been towards paying for the other half. You would then have to enter into a third contract of agreement to start paying that off from the equity or from the household owners. That's the reality that I'm currently living in. And that was what, 6-7 years ago when I started, like when I bought this house, give or take. No, it was 2 years ago. Shit, sorry. That was what was happening back then. There's a lot of brightness up there.
So, no kidding, I don't like it.
Again, I got my loan with the state government.
I know
right?
you did.
And they fronted up the 50 grand that we needed for the rest of the house. They don't own 50% of the house. If I sell it, they take like what I'm still owing on my loan, but there's no catch where they will come take my house.
Well, this is the thing. The state is not involved in this. You are dealing between yourself, the bank, and a corporation. You don't have the state being involved in this. If you're a first-time buyer, the most involvement the state has is that they will turn around and say, you now don't have to pay for the duty stamp of all the paperwork. That will be ignored for the first buy that you have as a first-time buyer. That's all they do. So you may be saved between £5,000 to £20,000 for that stamp that you would otherwise have to pay out of pocket to do.
Yeah.
So in this case that I've presented, in this case that I'm presenting here, you have got a mortgage with the bank that you have to pay for, and then once that mortgage runs out, you need to go hunting for a better deal or find a mortgage broker to get you a better deal. Because if you stay with the current broker or the current one that you've got, if you run out of that time, they just put you back onto market rates. They don't allow you to, like, you would have to renegotiate the entire thing. Otherwise, they just go you onto market rates. And how it's been here in the UK, the market rates have been going up and down like a fucking tree line. So 1 month you're paying, you're gone.
We're finally seeing a decline in our market price, in our housing market, because the government finally decided, you know what, this is insane, and future generations aren't going to be able to buy a house. So they cut out.
We don't have that. We don't have that. We've got. I think
you have a Labour government, and it's not doing this shit.
Okay, so so what we've had is 10 years of Conservatives.
Yep.
Fucking everything up.
Yep.
We've had most recently like 2 years, a year and a half, 2 years of Labour trying to get things done. However, the leadership has been so disliked, and they've had to untangle a lot of things. It's been very difficult. And throughout this period, we're looking at 5 million homes that is owned by non-British people. And we're looking at houses being built like sardines, like the very quick ones, owned by corporations who are then hiking the prices up. And due to the very low supply of houses, you can't have state housing because that's losing its funding, and they're selling it off primarily. The corporations are seeing that at the moment there are schemes where if they rent out the houses to asylum seekers, they get steady income directly from the government, and they don't have to worry about the residents, because they'll just be put in there, and then those residents will then be subsidized by the government, meaning they've got a guaranteed income through like a 3 to 5 year contract where they're guaranteed a above market rate from the government. They go like 20 to 30% above the market rates of what you should be paying to ensure that whoever it is that they want to have these houses are guaranteed those houses.
What the actual fuck?
Yeah. No, I mean these are some of the conversations that's been happening in these here, where people are not happy about the immigration side of it, but it's not it's not the people. It's the fact that they come in, and the joke currently is that you come in, you're given a house for free, you're giving a monthly income for free, and you are not expected. I'm being a bit hyperbolic when I say you're not expected to integrate, but like you've got no real sort of like motivation towards going out and getting a job, and the taxation that you're going to have on your monthly income is going to be at the minimum. So, yeah.
And only one man, nay, one being, can save your country.
Yes, and I would vote for him if I could vote.
A man from Recyclon 9. He will save us. Save the British people.
I still love the fact that when he ran for the mayor of London, he got 23,000 votes. Yeah. I mean, hell, like, yeah, but like that. So these are some of the contributors for why the housing crisis in the UK is shocking. And right now, like buying a house at this point in time is just such a dangerous thing because the markets are volatile. Job markets are unreliable. If you want to have any form of entertainment, which, let's be honest, we as human beings, yeah, exactly. We as human beings, we require entertainment because we've got a level of intelligence, which means we need to be entertained. You need to rent it. You're not going to own it, meaning whatever disposable income you have, it is shrinking, and it is shrinking to the point of where you are looking at the end of the month and you're going, oh my God, that's fantastic. I've got 80 to 100 to 120 pounds saved.
I've got 53 cents and I need to wait another week and a bit before I get my next pay.
But
you're rich.
Let's get the Deep Rock Galactic in there. We're rich. We're rich. Well, that's my point. Like you're at a period where it's like, right, you really need to go through like what you need for entertainment, and for some of these entertainments, like, okay, well, I don't want to go to the movies, I don't want to buy or subscribe to a subscription service. I will take the alternatives via the high seas because I don't see any other way for this to be done. I won't be able to own it, so if the thing's shut down, that's lost. That's money gone. And that's it. Like, it's just to the point where like it's such a expensive time period. It's difficult to make these decisions.
Yep.
And I mean, I can go on and on. Like, there are other things at least in the UK where, the things that but why don't you invest the money? It's like, I could, but that's, in my perspective, gambling, because I don't know how the hell that's going to be done or how well it's going to be performing. And the laws and the trajectory of how the laws have been going is, if you put your money in to be invested and to grow, you will be taxed very heavily when you turn around and go, okay, I would like to take my investments and cash them out. So the difference between what you invested versus what you earned, you will be taxed on that. Which, fine, I get it. That's how they want to make sure that you can exploit the system. It just means that me as a person go, right, well, I don't want to invest it. I'll just put it in a bank and I'll let the interest work. But the interest are now so low that you're lucky if you get like £1 or £2 a month out of that.
Which is funny because while the money from selling my old place to buy this place was in my bank account, it was in there for a couple of months. I ended up making about $5,000 off of the 300,000 that was in there.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was pretty good.
Yeah.
It all went into the new house, of course. So it's not like I'm like, "Ooh, I got $5,000." It's like, no, it went into the house. But
Yeah.
it did make $5,000.
Yeah, but
so.
that's like, again, like that's what it is. But it's just that's going on. But yeah, so
yeah.
Subscription services are unfortunately here to stay, and they will continue to squeeze us of all of the blood, sweat, and tears that we have, to the point of where we need to have a subscription service just to cry.
At least that would help all the autism people who have trouble reading emotions, because if we have to subscribe to cry, then that means we'll want to use that service, and then people who have trouble reading emotions will be able to look up someone and go, "Oh, you're crying. You are upset. I can acknowledge and help you with that now."
Mm-hmm.
Or at least try to.
Yeah, what can I do to help?
Yes.
Do you need physical comfort?
3-second rule, though. Oh, dear. Was there anything you wanted to say, Cthulhu, before you got to head off?
No.
No? Okay. Although I will say, Sax, after the stream, if you want some investment advice, I will be happy to provide you with some.
I'm not interested in doing investments. Again,
Okay.
like, just to make it very transparent, like
Monster. Much like the transparency of Cthulhu there.
Yeah.
Should we just end the stream there or something?
I mean, I've got nothing more to really say. The rest I've got to say is just to do with my tabletop games, but that's not really the point of today's stream.
And it's already coming on midnight here anyway.
Yeah,
so.
let's just end it.
Yeah. All right. Well, have I sent cunt this stream yet?
I didn't hear you. What was that?
I was just wondering if I said cunt this stream.
Well, no, I did that while my mother-in-law was talking to my wife.
Yeah, yes. Ah, man, that's always fun. See, pizza here, you would love the pizza here. Yeah. Although, don't be mistaken, like lots of Americans are, because we have one type of chili powder, and apparently it's too hot for Americans.
Okay.
Yeah. I found that funny. But anyway, so people want to go check out Cthulhu. He's the biggest person, quite frankly, in our whole circle jerk of people that we talk to. So he's got like over 10,000 subscribers. He's the big dog in this game. Sax and I are over here like, hey.
I'm allowed in here.
We have subscribers.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not really doing anything for the YouTubes.
Yeah. Got any new videos coming out, Cthulhu?
I'm working on one for zombies.
Ooh.
Nice.
It was a pain in the ass to record, so a lot of mistakes in it.
I look forward to it, regardless.
Should be fun.
Pain and suffering aside, I do have a new video editing program that I will be cutting my wrists to get a video done on it. Swear to God. But yeah, hopefully next week or maybe the week after. Sometime in the next 2 weeks, I'm definitely going to have a video out. But until I can get all my assets physically, because apparently stock images that are fucking premium bonus that can go fuck themselves. Yeah, it's gonna take some time. No dragon. Anyway, yeah. So I don't know. Last words.